Welcome back. Hi. I'm doing a new game. This is, well, I don't know if I should actually read that entire title because I've heard things about the way that YouTube reacts to words like that last word in that headline. We're just going to call this the Roottrees. The Roottrees are a family. As you can see from the newspaper in front of us, they have suffered something of a family tragedy. And now we are responsible for piecing together the family tree and figuring out who inherits and who doesn't. This is an Obra Dinn-like. The Return of the Obra Dinn is a game that I probably would want to play on my channel, with the problem being I watched a Let's Play of it, so I'm spoiled on it. So I cannot do a blind playthrough of it, and that's what I do, at least for now. So we're going to dive into this because I'm kind of excited about it. It was a game that was available in a less polished form for free, I think on itch.io. And I played a bit of that, but I remember nothing. Let's get started. The Roottrees are loading. Sure, it's 1998, and they are... Thank you. They are doubling down on that vibe. It is December 6th, 1998, in point of fact.
The plane that crashed last night just outside of Pittsburgh is now known to have been the private jet of the Roottrees Corporation. Local aviation authorities have speculated, based on the pilot's final communication, that the winter storm and heavy winds played a significant role in the crash. On board were multiple family members, including corporate president Carl Roottrees and his daughters, the Roottrees sisters, best known for their fashion lines and modeling careers. There were no survivors. Again, for those of you just joining us, the Roottrees are dead.
Phrasing? Oh, what now?
I know it's late, but I'm guessing you've seen the news. In addition to dealing with the grief, the Roottrees company's lawyers are scrambling. Everything's about to change. Anyone proven to be a blood relative is about to get much richer. I'm here to ensure everyone is accounted for. I've heard you're an expert at sorting out complicated family trees. A genealogy genie, as it were. I'm going to give you a quick test. Pass, and I can promise you the job of a lifetime.
Sleuth. Okay, so we need to complete the family tree of the Roottrees sisters. So we saw them on the news just now, but we know nothing. We need also to put them in chronological order by birth, oldest to youngest. Okay. Examine my evidence. So, list of names. This list was provided to you by the mysterious person who showed up at your door. You'll need it to fill in the family tree. And scrolling. So it's separated into men and women. Okay. So, given that they're the daughters of a Roottrees and one of them is married, certainly two of them are going to be in the list here. Candy, Carly, Gwendoline, etc. down to Tessa. But one of them might be something else. Did someone hyphenate? No, it doesn't look like they did. Okay. So we can look at it close up. Cool. There we go. The person who hired you gave you this photo with a note attached. This was taken during the shoot for the Roottrees Sisters Got Milk ad. 1998. I've tracked down a test photo from before they painted the fake mustaches on, which I thought would be more appropriate considering the circumstances. The ad's copy reads, "You might recognize our faces from the magazine you're reading, or you might recognize our name from the candy bar you're eating. Being a Roottrees is a full-time job, but so is growing up. That's why the calcium found in milk is so important. Plus, you can't make chocolate without it." And, aha, we can take 3 individual pictures from this. Okay. Cool. Right. Okay, so we have these 3 pictures, but there is no way to know who is who. Okay. So now, search the internet for clues. There we go. And it's just called internet. Oh gosh. Spider search and welcome.txt. Welcome to the information superhighway. They used to call it that. Thanks for purchasing a new Casio PC. 56K modem. Woo! If you find anything interesting, be sure to print it out with your included high-end color laser printer or burn a music CD to listen to later. If you want to revisit a search result, Netscape Explorer's new history feature. Cool. Okay. Spider search. Pro tip, you can create notes quickly by highlighting text with your mouse. So, nothing relevant to your investigation was found for Roottrees sisters' names. Check for typos, search for only one person or concept at a time. Okay, fine. Aha. There are a lot of obituaries that focus on the Roottrees sisters' modeling careers. You also come across an unofficial Roottree fan site seemingly curated by a teenager. It is neon pink with purple text and hard to read until you highlight the words. Thank you for not exposing us to this. Raina is the most famous because she's the oldest and got married to TMS. Copy. You might think they're rich just because they're models, but their dad is also the president of a candy company, and their mom, Brenda, is a fashion designer. They do the modeling for her brand, Root. Huh. If it's like a clipboard... Okay. How do I show photo items, show all the items? Do I have... Welcome to your notepad. On each page other than this one, you can jot down important information such as names, family relationships, families, marital status, sibling count, or anything else you'd like to remember. Page titles can be renamed to make it easier to remember what you've written. Highlight any text to your web browser or evidence for the quick option to add it to your notes. The entire contents of your notepads are saved even if you quit the game. Cool. Siblings, cousins, second cousins, third cousins, American school terms. Kindergarten to 12th grade. Schools produce yearbooks. Sure. Okay. Add page. Cool. Save note. Back to the internet. Oh, cool. Okay. Their mom, Brenda, is a fashion designer. Copy. Paste. Save note. I eat Roottrees candy all the time. My favorite are maple crisps. And try to dress in plaid root clothes like Riley does in most of the posters. Someday I want to get my ears pierced like Rose. Okay. The website's author continues to talk about her own life and what she likes about the Root fashion lines, but none of it is relevant. Okay. Cool. Okay. Disconnect for now. Okay. So, here's what we know. I cannot capitalize properly. Okay. Raina is the most famous because she's the oldest. So, oldest, Raina. But Riley is the smart one, and Rose is a middle child like me. So Rose belongs... Ooh. Uh-oh. That's not as easy as I thought it was going to be. Who in the heck is Rose? Okay, we're going to pass on that. And then Riley is the smart one. We do have a Riley. Excellent. So, occupations. Aren't they all just models? We're going to try that on for right now. Ooh, I cannot type. You'd think after all that lingo I'd be able to type. Okay. So now, from the fan site, they dress in plaid root clothes like Riley does in most of the posters, and I want to get my ears pierced like Rose. So Rose is here and has her ears pierced, and then Riley dresses in plaid, which should be that person because you can see the collar. If we go back to our evidence, yeah. I mean, she's got her arm around one and she appears in the other one, but yeah, this is Riley. Okay, which means the one remaining. Oh, thanks. That one? Yeah, she's the other one. New. Okay. Now, also off the internet... Oh, shoot. I didn't keep that information. One of them was married to someone. Darn it. I've forgotten what it was like to be on the internet back in the day. Okay. There we go. And she got married to TMS. Oh, that was in that. Well, I feel silly. You know what? I'm just going to leave this on. Okay, married to TMS. So presumably last name S. How about Thomas something or other Sheridan? Okay. So the only thing left is to figure out, wait a minute, who in the heck is Rose Roottrees? So let's go back to the internet. And let's do that. Search. Not as popular as older sister Raina, but still well known. Unfortunately, the results for Rose by herself don't lead to anything different when searching for the sisters together. Let's see. What did we know about Rose? Where's the notes? Notes, that's what we want. Okay. Rose is the middle child with her ears pierced. Yeah, she's kind of not there, is she? How do we figure out what her actual name is? Okay. Root, the period is part of the name, thank you, is a clothing company. Nope, Rose. It seems that Brenda Roottrees, this Roottrees sister's mother and Root's head designer, appeared on the cover, holding her daughter. Her Her daughter rose in 1985. This site says this was the only time her daughter was ever listed with her birth name, Carly Roottrees. Thank you. Don't know why that's there, but fine. Carly Roottrees. Hey, we got it. So, no living blood relatives. These 3 entries are correct and have been locked. You've also locked the following optional entry, Thomas Sheridan. To that I say booyah. Oh, what now?
Sorry to test you, but I had to be sure you could use the internet. Some folks refuse to get with the times. Safe to say, you're hired.
Thanks.
The reward for untangling the family tree is substantial. Life-changing, even. But here's the catch. The Roottrees go way, way back. The family tree's a bit daunting. Most people freak out the first time they see the whole thing. But I'm sure you'll be fine. The man who started it was particular about whom he considered family. For your purposes, you only need his direct blood relatives. Anyone related only by marriage is optional, but filling them in can lead to useful discoveries.
And of course, we are going to try to complete the entire thing, because why wouldn't you?
Lastly, you now have access to some unique websites, plus a list of notable Roottrees. Notable people are easy to find via your search engine, and marked with stars on the family tree. I'm off for now. Carl Roottree had a lot in his office. I'll look for anything useful. I'll return once you identify 6 more blood relatives.
Okay. What?
Sorry, one last thing. This might sound odd, but if anyone else claiming to represent the Rootrees reaches out, I'd appreciate you not mentioning I was here. Thank you, and good luck.
Weird. Okay. Okay, we can get going. Okay, before the person who hired you returns, every time you get 3 additional blood relatives in the family completely correct, name, occupation, and portrait, they'll be locked in. All non-blood relatives and small portraits are optional, but placing them in the tree helps to remove them in the tree and helps to remove extra name and photos. Okay. We have a big old corkboard in our living room. Family trees use surnames from birth, even if the person changed their last name after marriage, and always use a person's most recent occupation. Fine. Okay, so that's all done. What is this? Is this an additional picture of her? Don't know. Top secret. You can open this envelope after the whole family tree has been filled in. It has 2 names that must be typed manually. The clues are obscure, have been intentionally hidden in the past, and may even require some leaps of logic. Try to keep an eye out for any inconsistencies. Uh-oh. Great. Okay. Let's put you away. Okay, I think I see how this all works. I don't know what the red X's mean. Oh, they've split up. They've divorced. Okay. Okay. So, we can sort of do something. The spouse is Brenda? Oh, but is she the brother relative or not? It has to be. Brenda White. But she is not going to count towards this because I need to get actual blood relatives, not spouses. Spice. Okay, so we got new evidence. List of names. The story so far: the Roottrees sisters and their parents died in a plane crash on December 6th. The next evening, a shadowy figure appeared. Okay, fine. Notable root trees: Carl, Elias and Gwyneth, Gwyn, Red, Jim, Lauren, and Miracle Jr. are easy to find online. Any entry on the family tree that belongs to someone on this list is marked with a star, and they will be crossed out after they're verified and locked in. Okay. This is an advertisement for 5 pieces aimed at kids from the magazine Teen Blast. It mentions that the 5 pieces were named as such because the original creator had 5 children. The ad also mentions that the current 5 flavors are not the same as back then. So Strawberry, Power Plum, Cool Chocolate, Bad Blue Raspberry, and Awesome Apple. Radical new flavors because it's no longer the 1920s. What even is an elderberry anyway? Intuition. You've been in this line of work a long time, so long in fact you developed a sixth sense for how useful your evidence can be. The numbers in the magnifying glass refer to how many clues are connected to a specific piece of evidence. At the start of your search, the notables list sets off alarm bells. A list of famous people that you can find via search engine. It's pretty rare to get something that useful. Best take advantage of it. As you progress, these numbers will change. Whenever you find more evidence or lock in family members, new discoveries will be added to the list and old evidence will become less useful. Trust your intuition. If a piece of evidence seems too good to be true, take a closer look at the people or phrases it mentions. Often the most satisfying revelations come from retracing a path you thought was fully explored, armed with a new perspective. Okay. So, 35 things to find in this, just because it's where you're starting. Fine. And we're cycling through. Okay. So, why don't we start with Carl Roottrees? Oh, hints. We don't need hints. We're a long way from getting hints. Okay. What are you? Show marketing items. Okay. Show text-based items. Fine. Go to the internet. Nope. Nope. It is double T, single R. Carl Roottrees died in the recent plane crash. That's Dad, president of the Roottrees Candy Company, as well as the clothing company Root. Okay. Aha! Like his great-grandfather before him, Carl earned the highly prestigious Watchman of the Year title. I'm going to copy that. Oh, public library and periodicals. Fantastic. Okay. Okay. So let's do that. So this is Carl Roottrees. Occupation CEO? Sure. So now we need a picture of him somewhere. Well, periodicals, what does it do? The internet's largest database of magazines and newspapers. Keywords Carl Roottrees. I need a periodical. And the problem is I don't know the names of any in this. Well, I suppose I do. Wait a minute. Shoot, what was the name of the newspaper that was at the beginning? The something county something. The B county something. No, I don't remember. Okay, public library. Book title and author name. Okay. picture? Dope. Okay. So I can't use this like I would a search engine today where I can put two things in and cross. Okay. Oops, grandfather with a D. No, it really doesn't want me doing that. Okay, this is a very simple, rudimentary thing. Okay, so let's go back to the evidence. The next thing is Elias and Gwyneth Roottrees. Let's search on him. Maybe that's the great-grandfather. Elias Roottrees was the founder and first president. At the top, there's a picture of him and his wife, Gwyneth. That picture has been added to your evidence. Elias is credited for inventing 5 pieces of popular maple candy. Before that, the farm he inherited by marrying his wife only produced syrup. After it became widely successful, he spent his time and energy on cementing his reputation as a family man. Blood is thicker than syrup. Any child linked by blood to me shall be linked by blood to my legacy. There are a few more quotes about Elias from a book called Family Man, The Roottrees Legacy by Bess Williams. So, go to the notes. Let's add a page. And let's put a place where we can store some book titles. Save that note. Okay. So now, Elias and Gwyneth, I presume. Okay. So let's go to this, and let's find them. So this looks like it should be this. How many kids are on this line? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That feels right. Okay, and this is helping us out. Elias. Roottrees. Presumably, only. And then Gwyneth. Uh-oh, Anderson or Madsen? We don't know. Okay, but we do have her and him. So, she owned a farm. She was a landowner. Okay. Yeah, we're not sure about that, but President First is one of the choices. So that's who he is. Let's go back to the internet and look up Gwyneth Roottrees. She was Gwyneth Anderson. She was to inherit the farm so long as she married. Okay, so we can fill that in. Back to the board. She is Gwyneth Anderson. Occupation. What do we do about occupation? Baby. Sure. Cashier, CEO, chef, comedian, construction, dancer, director, doctor, driver, farmer. I'll buy that. Okay, so they're complete. So the only thing that I'm missing, I can get 3 if I can figure out how to find a picture of Carl Roottrees. How many generations down is he? If he's first, second, third, fourth president, why is there a 5th in the list? We'll see if that's right for CEO. That seems reasonable. But let's go back to the internet. How do I get a picture? Maybe a Roottrees candy company. In the history section, founded by Elias Roottrees shortly after he married Gwyneth at the Anderson Maple Farm. It has no CEO and no stockholders. It is run by a president. Okay. Okay. So, we need to go back to that board and change CEO. So, presumably he's 5th president? Okay. Still need a picture. How am I going to get a picture of Carl? Let's see. What is the name of the book? Family Man, The Roottrees Legacy by Bess Williams. So let's go to Public Library, author name, Bess Williams, Family Man. Published 1920, hardcover. There's no downloadable version available because the book is impossible to find these days. Well, that's not much help. Bust. Okay. What do then? Maybe I can get a third one another way. Maybe this isn't the thing I do now. So if I go back to the evidence, and I go back to this, who is Red Roottrees? Oh, Gwyn Roottrees. So let's look up Gwyn Roottrees. Who's that? Printing a copy. You find some information on a website about old films not yet available on VHS. As a somewhat well-known actress from the 1950s, especially her publicized divorce. We're going to grab that entire paragraph. And there we go. Let's go back to page 1. Boop. Save the note. This might be enough. Notable for her divorce. Oh, let's see. An actress? Except she's not notable. She doesn't have a star on her. Where is there someone who's notable with a divorce? Over here. Woo. Actor Gwyn Roottrees. Do I have to do anything? Because I think I have 3 things in. So there's a mistake. Well, I can't imagine what that would be. This has to be Elias. First president. Gwyneth Anderson. We checked that last name at the farm. A farmer. Unless that's wrong and she's something else. Okay, we're going to go back to the internet and keep looking for people. How about Red Roottrees? Aloysius Herring Roottrees, Red Herring, was an appointed judge and politician because he was the ambassador to Ireland for about 6 days? He claimed to be related to the Roottrees Candy Company in the newspaper ad, but it came out that the last name was a coincidence and he was defeated in a landslide. Aha. Okay. So, he should not appear anywhere. Save note. Fine. Okay, back to the list. Jim Root. Yeah, thank you. Cute. Jim Roottrees is next. James Roottrees is a singer who sings in the duo Jim and Diamond with his wife, Diamond LaRue. Rolling on down to the city, it's now in your evidence folder. Although Jim writes the majority of the songs, plays the guitar, and often sings, Diamond is the band's lead singer. Diamond's Dazzlers. Cherry Tree and Sound of Laughter. Something of a Recluse hasn't made a public appearance since '96. Okay. What do we have in our evidence folder? Oh, there you go. That's them. Barely a top 20 hit back in '79. The image is from an auction for a sealed copy. Only the great-grandson of Elias Roottrees could make disco this sweet. The lyrics of this song contain no clues, but we're going to include the lyrics anyway. Okay. But this has 11 clues in it? Find that difficult to believe. Okay. So, the great-grandson of Elias Roottrees. So, son or daughter, grandson, great-grandson. But the only notable one that isn't Carl is here. So, there he is. Name, James Roottrees. Occupation, not singer. Oh, musician. She's the singer. Ta-da! Three of a kind. These three entries are correct and have been locked. Elias, James, and Gwyn. You've also locked the following optional entry, Brenda White. Okay. So, weirdly, I've got the wife right, but I don't have the picture. And there's something wrong with Gwyneth. Well, I'm not going to be able to know that that's fixed until I have two more solid things. What is wrong with Farmer? I mean, the picture can't be wrong, and she can't be wrong because it says so right there. And we're supposed to put maiden names. And I don't think... Yeah, unless she's also Gwendolyn, that's the correct name. So she's not a farmer, she's something else. She's a housewife? She became a housewife? But she was both. I don't know. Let's change it to housewife because then we have a hope. Okay. Let's go back to the list. Lauren. Roottrees. Let's try her next. Author Lauren Roottrees, a distant relative of the Roottrees sisters, is known for her book A Life Between Wars. Grab that. We're going to put it in here, but also that's a book title to check. A distant relative of the Roottrees sisters, so we don't know where. Okay. Under her married name, Lauren Rafferty. Okay. In the early 1960s, when her publisher learned she had been keeping diaries about her famous family, they insisted she release them under her original name, Lauren Roottrees, to take advantage of the family's notoriety. Oh, there's a thing for search periodicals. Hey, maybe we need to do that way. Okay. Back to the book. Add that to that. We don't know any of that. Close that up again. The selection of diary entries released in 1965 as A Life Between Wars. Oh, that is that. That's the diaries. Okay. Dee-dee-dee-dee-dee-dee-dee. After the success of her diaries, her publisher re-released her romance novels under Lauren Roottrees. This included Romance in Court, which gained popularity, and the Court Jester series. Okay. We have this. Could she be from that era? I mean, World War II. We could gamble. Okay, so she is definitely from that generation. The only question is, where is she? Okay. Let's go back to the internet. Let's go back to searching for Carl Roottrees. Search periodicals. Oh. Never mind, that's useless. Okay. Because it doesn't give us a name of a newspaper. What do? We also don't have a picture of Lauren. But we can search the public library. And the name of it is A Life Between Wars. Okay, a summary of the contents of the book, photos, as well as some particularly relevant entries from the diary have been added to your evidence. That was a big thing to find. Okay. So, ta-da! Lauren and Mr. Rafferty. The book was published in 1965 and consists of diary entries that stretch from 40 to 65. The loss of her husband, Jacob, so Jacob Rafferty. This left her to raise her son, Clark, alone. Lauren never remarried and only had one child. She was the granddaughter of Elias and Gwyneth on her father's side. Her mother's family was called the Cossells, but she hardly ever mentions them. Her father, who she always referred to as Pop, was the head lawyer for the Roottrees Candy Company and helped write a legal document called the Clanced Trust. Oh, so there's stuff down there. Okay, but first things first, out of these two, both of them had only one child. That's irritating. How do we know which one to put her into? Well, I mean, if she's a distant relative, this person is not a distant relative. She's a great aunt. This person is a distant relative. So let's put Lauren there. Who is an author. Okay. Now, what we need okay, we can look through all that stuff later. But what we really want is a picture. Oh, pardon me. So those are just going to be available. Got milk picture, Gwyn, list of names, the 5 pieces. Okay. Lauren's diary contains some labeled pictures. These are the 5 pieces. The picture was famous in our house. Pop even had it framed. That's him on the left. Ooh. It was taken in 1935 to celebrate the move to the new warehouse that Eli Jr. designed. Angie and I both wanted to be in the picture since Miracle was in it and the 3 of us were all about the same age. We were told only the 5 pieces, which really didn't go over well to say the least. Eventually, I suppose to stop the tantrums, they posed us in front of the camera with Mr. Morden, who was there with Aunt Gwendolyn. I found out years later that they never even took a second photo. Okay. So if these are the 5 pieces, then these are these 5 on the top row. These 5. But if we look at that picture again, wouldn't you think that would be the youngest of the 5? There is no way that this, I mean, it even says Pop even had it framed. This is Pop. Which was what she called her own father. Oh, but not this. Her father, whom she always referred to as Pop, was the head lawyer for the Roottrees Candy Company and helped write a legal document called the Clanced Trust. That can't be her over here. Clear all this stuff out. Unknown name. Unknown occupation. This has to be her over here. In spite of everything. So her name is Lauren. She's an author. That makes this person Jacob Rafferty. And then Pop is up here. That's this guy who was the lawyer. Not attorney, so lawyer. We just don't know what Pop's actual name is. But that makes this person Clark Rafferty, but we don't know anything about him. Okay. So Gwyneth is filled in, Lauren is filled in. We have 2 more chances for getting something else. We can either find out what Pop's actual name is, although we know we can't search on him, or we can get a picture of Carl Roottree. But that picture is not likely to be among our evidence. Angie and I wanted to be in the photo since Miracle was in it and the 3 of us were all about the same age. Doesn't that have to be this person then? Clearly the youngest here. Miracle Roottree. But who is that? But Miracle Jr. is one of the people on the list. Okay, I think our best information is to look through this. An entry titled Complaints from Lauren, written in 1953, seems to focus specifically on one of Lauren's family members, Gwyn. It seems everyone has something to complain about. Gwyn is an only child, complained of loneliness. I told her that being expected to watch after 3 younger brothers didn't feel like a blessing, but it fell on deaf ears. So Lauren has 3 younger brothers. So that cements it. It can't be on this side of the family. That's it. And these are men. Unknown male. Unknown male. Unknown male. During the summer, I went to stay with her and Aunt Margot. I hoped she would be the sister I never had and that I'd do the same for her. I even tried to dye my hair blonde to fit in with the 2 of them. What a mess. But she just complained. To her, I was the lucky cousin. Let's throw that in the diary. Under notable. Actually, no. Add a page. That feels like it's an important paragraph. Now she's living off the glamorous life while I'm stuck here with Clark. She is the first Roottree woman to be anything other than a housewife, and I'm jealous. If I were not a single mother, could I make my own way in this world? But I'm off topic. A girl with all the luck in the world was jealous of me. And now, though I've been undoubtedly burdened by terrible tragedy, I'm also lucky to be born into a family that can support me for eternity. If any of them were to hear me complaining, they would rightly scoff, just like I do at Gwyn. But she's an author, not housewife. Okay. An entry titled Dynasty from Lauren Rootree's diary, 1958, focuses on the day her grandfather Elias announced he would step down. This doesn't feel like it's going to help us right now. An entry entitled Sam from Lauren Rootree's diary, written in 1963, you learn that Elias Roottree had given in to his wife and announced that Sam, an obscure relative, was to be included in family gatherings. Gwyneth had been pushing to include Sam for quite some time. After all, Granny had sisters and Granddad had a brother or two. But I was told, trim their branches from the family tree, so why is Sam special? Angie summoned all of the next gens to a secret meeting in Zach's office. Gwyn's in Paris, but the rest of us, including Miracle's boy, spent ages trying to unravel the mystery. I didn't recognize Sam at Uncle Junior's wedding to Patsy last year. Clancy swore he saw Sam working alongside the farmhands E.C. and John when he used to drive past the old Anderson farm on his way to work. Eli, Miracle's youngest, not my brother, Eamon, chimed in. Okay. Well, Miracle's youngest, whoops, not a picture, Eli. Oh no. Elias Jr. Well, it can't be Elias Jr. Elias C. or Elias M. Okay, but let's do this. Close that out. This better be Elias Jr., doesn't it? Which means this is Miracle Jr. And this would have to be Miracle the Third. So maybe we have another way in after all. Clark's getting married and in my opinion far too young. He's barely 18 for God's sake, and Danielle isn't much older. They all aspire to be musicians and artists and dancers and all sorts of nonsense. The only one who has any discipline is Carl, because Pop forced Clancy to send him to the academy. Clancy would be Carl's dad. There's Carl. That makes this person Clancy. Junior. That's the only way that makes any sense. This has to be Clancy Sr. Clancy Edward. Yay! All right. You've also locked in Jacob Rafferty, of course. Nice. So she's going to knock on my door again.
You're on a roll. I'll try to keep that momentum going. Carl's office was a mess, thanks to some burst pipes.
You don't have to have a picture of him, do you?
But I unearthed a photo from a 1970s Roottrees reunion. I also found some important-looking papers.
My goodness.
You've traced 9 blood relatives so far. I'll have more to share after you find 9 more.
Okay, so that's a pretty decent start. What I'm going to do right now is I am going to stop there, and we'll pick this up again with the second episode at some point in the future. I'm liking this. I'm enjoying figuring everything out. And hopefully you're enjoying watching me struggle to figure everything out. We'll stop there, and we'll see you again in the future. Goodbye.